to ABC Learning Dhaka.
Dear viewers, welcome back to ABC Learning Dhaka. In the last class or in last video we talked about the fundamental principles of ACCA or the fundamental principles of a CA or the fundamental principles of an auditor and the guidelines given by the IFAC, and we saw 5 fundamental principles: integrity, objectivity, professionalism, confidentiality and competence. In mnemonic you can say PICO. So we discussed this in details: what is integrity, what is objectivity, professionalism, confidentiality and competence. I hope in the meantime you have watched that video, because that is very fundamental and very important for the all auditors to follow the fundamental principles of an auditor. সুপ্রিয় দর্শকবৃন্দ, তাহলে চলুন শুরু করে আজকের পর্ব। তার পূর্বে আপনি যদি নতুন ভিউয়ার হন তাহলে অবশ্যই চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করে নিন, যাতে নতুন ভিডিও রিলিজ হওয়ার সাথে সাথে আপনি নোটিফিকেশন পান। শেয়ার করুন যাতে আপনার বন্ধু, আপনার প্রিয়জন ভিডিওটি দেখতে পায়, এবং লাইক কমেন্ট দিয়ে আমাকে জানান, যাতে আপনাদের মতামতের উপর ভিত্তি করে আমরা ভিডিও তৈরি করতে পারি। তাহলে চলুন শুরু করি আমাদের আজকের পর্ব। Dear viewers, let us discuss today the independence, auditor's independence and the threat, and we see today what are the threats that an auditor faces and what is his or her independence. So this is an important video or important lectures for all the auditors and auditing students, especially for CA, CCA and other auditing professionals, because if you do not know the independence and what are the threats of independence and how to remove, how to overcome such threats or how to mitigate such threats, or what are the safeguards against those threats, you have to understand this. So if you do not understand this properly, then auditor is likely to fall in danger and lack of independency. Say this is the time of world pandemic coronavirus, so if you do not know the rules to save yourself, or if you do not take any safeguard, then obviously you will fall in danger. So inshallah Allah will help us everybody, and let us discuss what is auditor's independence and threat. An auditor is required to be independent of the client in order to give an objective opinion on the financial statements, that is dependent on the shareholders but independent to the directors. I discussed earlier, as auditor is appointed by the shareholders for the shareholders' greater interest, that's why auditor will work on behalf of the shareholders, not on behalf of the management. Here is an important quote or statement: auditor is not only to be independent, but he or she seems to be independent. This is very important. That means auditor should not only be independent, but he must seem to be independent, so that everybody understands, yes, this is an independent auditor. He does not have any relationship or conflict of interest with the company. Let me give you an example, very interesting one. There are two brothers, Mr. A and Mr. B, who lost their parents at their early age. Mr. A was brought up in UK and fortunately became a very big businessman. On the other hand, B was staying in Bangladesh and he became the auditor or chartered accountant. But they did not meet each other earlier, even they do not know whether A has brother or B has brother. Fortunately, A company appoints Mr. B as an auditor. But I told you earlier, they do not know each other and they do not have any kind of relationship between them. And after appointment, they came to know that Mr. A and B were two brothers, lost their parents at their childhood and brought up two brothers in two different countries by two great men, and both the brothers became successful in their life. So in a nutshell, I am telling you, A is a businessman or has a very big company, and B is an auditor, and B is appointed by A company. Now my question is, can UK company appoint Mr. B as an auditor? It's a very big question. So the question belongs to you. You try to answer this. But my answer is no. Mr. B cannot audit A company, though they are not known, but they did not see them each other earlier, but people will say, oh, they are brothers, that's why Mr. B is the brother of A and he is auditing A company, so it will not give us the true and fair view, though they are independent or they do not have any mental or reflection or any kind of relationship between them. That's why it is said, though auditors are independent, but they seem to be independent, so that the other people will think, oh, they are really independent and they are not biased. Let me give you another example. Say you have lost your laptop and you have gone to your nearest police station, and while you are coming out from the police station, you tumble down from the stairs and broke your leg, and for that reason Thana authority or the police authority made an investigation team heading a police officer. Now my question is, if the police officer gives a real scenario or real picture or real incident, nobody will believe. Oh, everybody will say police bumped the person and fall down from the stairs and broke his leg. So though the police is independent, but he does not seem to be independent, because everybody will think a policeman can never file any case, or a policeman can never make any charge against another policeman. That's why, though the policeman is independent, but he is not seen to be independent. That's why independency in auditing is very important and very difficult to maintain. So this is a big issue in auditing, and we will see today what is independence and how to safeguard your independence. So from these two examples, I think you have in the meantime got an idea what is independency. So independency in auditing is important concept for understanding, and it is very difficult some cases to maintain your independence. However, I am discussing here threats to independence faced by the auditor. There are mainly 6 types of threats, but there are other types of threats as well. Just I am discussing 6 types. In mnemonic you can write SISFAM for your understanding. Self-interest threat, intimidation threat, self-review threat, familiarity threat, advocacy threat, and finally management threat. Let us discuss one by one what is self-interest threat. Self-interest threat refers to actions that elicit personal benefit, that means caused by auditor's own interest. This occurs when an auditor has a beneficial interest in a client's property. That means when the auditor has interest on client or client's benefit, that is called self-interest. That means if the auditor has some interest on a particular client or a particular company, auditor will never give a true report of the company. That's why self-interest threat plays an important threat for the auditor. A self-interest threat occurs as a result of the financial or other interest of the professional accountant of an immediate or close family relationship. So self-interest threats can be of two types. One is professional relationship, one can be family relationship. Let me give you some examples of self-interest threats. First one can be when the auditor or a member of their family owns shares in a client. That means you are auditing a company, but you possess huge or significant amount of shares on that particular company. So you will have self-interest threat because you will never give any bad report regarding the company because you have the own interest on the company. Second one, a financial interest in a client or jointly holding a financial interest with a client. Say client and the auditor doing jointly some business, so they have financial interest, so auditor will not be independent in this case. Undue dependence on total fees from a client or single client. Say you are running an audit firm and you have few clients, and this client is significantly important because 90% of your total revenue comes from this client. So what will happen if you lose this client? Obviously you will lose your earnings. That's why if you are dependent on any particular client for your fees for other activities, then auditor will not be independent. Then having a close business relationship with the client, I told you earlier, if the client and the auditor jointly have business, then the auditor will not be independent. Concern about the possibility of losing a client, I told you earlier in number 3, that means if you give any negative result or adverse result which goes against the client, you are likely to be removed from the client. That's why it is a independent threat. Potential employment with a client, that means sometimes auditor may have recommended some employees or some junior auditors to a particular company or to his or her relatives to a particular company for the employment. As a result, the auditor cannot give you independent report. Contingent fees, this is important, and contingent fee is prohibited in auditing, or overdue fees relating to an engagement. That means contingent fees means any fees which depends on certain outcome. That means if you give this result, you will get the fees. If you do not give this result, you will not get the fees. That is called contingent fees, depends on some conditions. So contingent fee is prohibited in auditing. So for contingent fees cases, the auditor cannot remain independent. A loan to or from a client or any of its directors or officers. Yes, this is very important. You cannot take as an auditor any loan from the company or from the company's directors, or else you will lose your independence. So this is called independence threat. Gifts or hospitality. Usually gifts or hospitality, if it is normal, say the company is giving 10% discount to all of its employees. Same way, auditor is getting 10% discount for all commodities. So this is as it is normal, this is discount for everybody. But if it is 50%, 90%, 100% or gift or hospitality is material, then auditor will lose his or her independence. Lowballing, in many cases lowballing is prohibited. However, for getting new clients, some cases lowballing is allowed, but you must mention the client, yes, the service of this cost of this service is $500. I am taking only $100 for the time being because I am seeking other works from you, but that does not mean I will compromise with your works. That is called lowballing. So lowballing is a kind of offer which is given by the auditor to the client to perform the work with a significant low cost, but in near future they will increase their fees. They must mention this. If they do not mention this, then lowballing is prohibited. Or if you mention this, yes, our service charge is this, but for the time being I am taking this fees, but next year we will increase our service charge. That is called lowballing. So if there is any lowballing, then auditor will lose their independence. Owing shares to a client, I discussed maybe earlier. That means if the auditor owns a particular share of a company or a client, then auditor will lose their independence, and this is a great independence threat. And finally, family relationship with the client, say managing director and the auditor are very close family relationship. In such cases, auditor will lose their independence. So these are the threats of independence threat, which are very important to remain independent by the auditors, and auditors must be very careful for the above cases. Now, how to safeguard or how to remove or how to reduce those threats? These are some of the guidelines. First one is do hot review. Hot review means instant review. Do not make any delay. Just you are getting the report, you are doing the work very quickly and giving the report. Hot report is very hot, don't touch it, like a fire, right? So when it will be cool, then there is likely to be a threat for the auditor. That's why you are auditing, you are giving your report very quickly, doing everything in a hurry and but properly, and giving report. That is called hot report. And leave people of the team. Some cases, if there is old people, old members in a team, then you must remove them and take the fresh or new members to the audit team, so that they can remain independent. And some cases, second partner hot review, you can review this again with another partner, so that you can have some safeguards and get the review again and make it stronger. These are the safeguards for removing or reducing your auditor's independence threat.